Hello, hello. Welcome to Calm in the Middle of the Storm, you busy business women. Uh, Good to see you. It's Friday. I'm Marsha Grace, your Calm Creativity Connector. And today we are talking about the anatomy of joy. But first, I want to make sure I always tell you this because we need to hear this over and over again because nobody teaches us this, that there is a way for you to view your feelings and your experiences differently so that you can discover the solutions that you need for your business and for your personal life, even in the face of fear, in the face of coronavirus, in the face of whatever's going on in your life. So simply by shifting our thoughts from fear on the outside to understanding on the inside, from outward to inward, in other words, you can uncover the answers to all your problems. Yes, you can. It's true. So stick with me and you'll learn more about how that happens. So today we're talking about the anatomy of joy, and I love this topic because it's really all about where true success is. True success is in that experience of joy, of feeling and knowing that joy is your rightful inheritance. So, everybody's idea of what success is different, but I think nobody would dispute the idea that when you are feeling good within yourself, happy and contented in your world, that will make all the difference in your experience. So, all right, so last week, when I started this series on joy, I gave you what I call my instant calm formula. And if you didn't get that, you can go to my Facebook page, which if you're on right now, you'll see it. A little further down, it's from last week's Facebook Live. And if not, you can go to marshagrace.tropin at marshagrace. So that's my handle. Okay. So I suggest you get it because if you use that with true intentionality, you will see an incredible difference in your life. I guarantee you. But you have to use it like anything else, right? You can buy all the most wonderful programs in the world and all the greatest apps and all that stuff, but they won't help you if you don't use them. So you need to use it. Okay, so let's get on with our discussion of the anatomy of joy. And you may be a little bit surprised. I'm gonna maybe unsettle a few people, but what's life all about? So my statement is that most people will never know joy. Most people. And I'll tell you why in a minute. But first I want to ask you a couple of questions just to get the grease going here. So the first question is, where does joy live for you? Where is it? So maybe if you want to write these questions down, you might want to play with these ideas later when you have a little more time. But we're going to talk about these things anyway. But see what comes up for you when I ask you these questions. So where does joy live for you? Next question, how can you find joy more consistently? That's a fair question, right? How can you find joy more consistently? And I have lots of questions, but I'm going to stick to 3 here. And the last one is, how do you know that you're experiencing joy authentically? Is it real joy? How do you know? Excuse me. Okay, so those are the 3 questions, and now what I want to do is give you my definition of joy. Now you'll understand why I said what I said before about that most people will never experience it. And that is because, for my purposes, joy is not a synonym for happiness. Because happiness is, in my estimation again, it's a temporary experience, and it's dependent on externals, things that happen in the world. I got a new car. Wow, I'm so happy. My boyfriend gave me an engagement ring. Yippee! I'm thrilled. So these things happen. My dog learned a new trick, which she did, and that's so great. All of these things truly make us happy, but that's not joy in my book. Okay, because they come and they go. The next minute, the dog will forget the trick, or the boyfriend will change his mind, or you'll change your mind, or whatever, and things will change. And so where was that? All right, so the reason I say this is because joy is not the emotion felt at achieving something or receiving something. It's not about something external. It's not about anything in the world. Nothing in the world has the ability to take away your joy or give you joy unless you decide. You decide. That's the big thing to understand. Another way to look at joy is that it is the ever-present, ultimate human experience that we are capable of. True joy. Joy coming from within you. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute. All right. It's also, it exists only in this moment. That's where joy is. It's not in the past. Because again, the past is about something that happened or something you got, and so you're happy about it. That's not joy. And it's not about looking forward to something in the future. Oh, what's going to happen in the future, and this wonderful thing is going to happen. No. Joy is only in the moment. Which means, of course, that there are no regrets from the past and no fear of the future. So when you're joyful, you're in the moment, no regrets, no fear. Okay? So that's why joy is so important to cultivate, because we don't want to live in the past. We don't want to worry about the future, right? We don't want that. We want to be joyful now and always. So that's very important to keep in mind. So what's left after the regrets from the past go and the worries about the future is a total sense of well-being, so profound that nothing can disturb it. You are in harmony with all things, always. Yes, joy issues from the mind at peace with itself, completely conflict-free. You get my drift? So in other words, joy is something we're all working toward, and not something we're really experiencing very much. And again, being happy is great, and I hope you're happy and happy things are happening to you. That's wonderful, but that's not the joy that I'm speaking of. Because joy it's like the air we breathe. Most of the time we're unaware of it, although we're completely surrounded by it. Because again, joy is an internal experience that you take with you wherever you go. And then you decide how you are going to experience that moment, wherever you are. And when you decide that you want peace, when you're coming from that calm center, when you allow yourself to have that sense of just relaxation and knowledge that you will have whatever you need when you need it and not a second before. I can tell you there have been many, many times where I said, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm in this situation and I really need a whatever. And, and then I said, well, if it's not here, it's not here. And I let it go. And then if it was necessary, it would arrive. So again, it's not dependent on those things. I wasn't depending on receiving that thing in order to be happy. That's really, really important. So, okay, so getting back to what I was saying about the ultimate experience we're capable of, because we are complicated creatures, are we not? Right? We have all sorts of things that we are involved with, that we're thinking about, and it's a difficult thing to believe that you could actually feel joy in every experience you're having. At first, that seems like a bit. What's the word? Too optimistic? Should I say that? But it is actually what the spiritual journey is about. The spiritual journey is about getting to that place where you remain unruffled in the strongest wind in your life. You're calm, you're peaceful, because, and here, why? How can we be like that? It's because we're connected. We're connected to the source, whatever you want to call it. Okay, I mean, it doesn't. The words don't matter. It's the experience that matters. The experience of being connected with your source, be it God, Jesus, Buddha, Allah. It's not the words. The words only represent an experience, and that's what will happen when we allow joy to be our front runner for everything we do in our life, to expect it, to know it's with us, to be present with us. So that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about today, and to explain how we shouldn't feel badly that I said that there's very few people who are going to experience joy, because that's a decision that each one of us can make and must make. It's up to us to decide. Do I want to feel like I'm going through life all on my own, and that I have to get everything accomplished and do everything myself, and to feel like I'm in control all the time? Or am I willing to say, I can recognize that I have a partner. There's a partner, call it your higher consciousness, your inner wisdom. Again, it's not the words, it's the experience of knowing you're not alone. In my Course in Miracles teachings, we talk about the Holy Spirit, and that is that link, that what I call the master switch, that connects us to the source and keeps us always on track. If you're willing to listen. That's always the case. You have to be willing to listen and then go forth and follow that guidance that you get. So, okay, that's the anatomy of joy for today. Now, if you want to stick around, and I also wanted to tell you, if you want to learn how to experience more calm in this storm we call life here on planet Earth, you can go to my website and read about my program, which will be coming up in March. Small group program, so there really isn't much room. If you want to do it, you need to get there fast. So just go to marshagrace.com/busywoman and you can read about it. All right, so now we're into our woo-woo part of our discussion, and that's where we do some breath work and a little meditation. So if you want to hang around, great. I've got my bowl, and I didn't get my candle. Right here is my candle. For those of you who, when you're doing any kind of meditational work, you like to look at a candle. I prefer to close my eyes, but you do what's good for you. Okay, so we are going to start with our breath work for today. Every week I do try to do something a little bit different, and so this week we are going to do what I call the mother's breath, which is a very gentle, relaxing breath. And so what I want you to do is take a minute now to just settle in, okay? First, let's just settle in. So hopefully you're in a quiet place and you are not going to be disturbed by anything, you know, that the phone's going to ring or or whatever, any of those things. And then just allow yourself to just sit for a couple of minutes now. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to just sit, and you're going to allow yourself now to take your hands. Our hands are very, very important to us, right? I mean, without our hands, I don't know where we'd be, but anyway. So today, let's take our hands and just, if you're hopefully you're sitting, you can put them, rest the tops of your hands on your thighs so that your arms are hanging loose at your side and your hands are just resting palms up and just resting fingers open in, you know, just moderately open in a receptive position, right? It's like your hands are ready to receive. Okay, so that's where the hands are. And we're going to do our mother's breath, which is slow, steady, deep breath in, hold, and then release. Now we're going to start with 6. I'm going to count to 6, or you can count to yourself. Count in 6, hold for 3, and then release for 6. And then again, 3 times. In for 6, hold for 3, out for 6. This is a breath that relaxes the whole system and allows you to let the past go, not worry about the future, just be here in this moment, all right? And then we'll do our little meditation. All right, so begin by breathing in and filling up belly, ribs, collarbone. Hold, 2, 3, and release to the count of 6. And again, breathing in, 2, 3. Hold, 2, 3, and release, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And on this last breath, breathing in, relaxation, calm, peace. Hold, and let go of any tension, tightness, worry, fear. Just let it go. All right, so now either close your eyes or look at the candle. And I want you to be ready to receive joy today. So our hands are in a receptive position, as if a gift is going to be laid on our lap any second now. This beautiful gift of joy. And we are so happy to be free of worry and concern, just for these few moments, to be present right here, right now, peacefully, in contentment. So, just imagine yourself now waiting. You know something wonderful is coming, and you're waiting with joyful anticipation. But as you're waiting, you notice, oh, a nasty little thought pops in there, a little concern, a worry. All right, so catch that worry. Look at it. Don't chase it away yet. Really look at it and say to this concern, there is an answer. There is an answer, and I will find it. And as you say those words, you watch that worry melt away. It's taken care of. Maybe not just quite yet, but it will be. And again, we're sitting in joyful anticipation of this beautiful gift that's ours to receive. And if another concern comes up, again, look it squarely in the eye, address it. Say, I see you, worry, I see you, but I know there's an answer. I trust that I will receive that answer as I sit here, open and willing to receive. So just spend another minute or two in that process, and then I'll ring the bell. All right. So, coming on back, feeling your toes and your feet and your hands and everything. Just maybe you want to just move around a little bit and feel yourself in your present moment. And trusting and knowing that when you use this process of confronting those fears, and then telling that fear, I know there's an answer to you, and I will receive it, that you can alter your mental stress instantly. Okay, so I hope that was helpful, and I wish you a beautiful weekend and a beautiful week. So until next time, many blessings and joy, joy, joy. It's yours. You just have to allow it.